This is a dream come true, definitely.
Good, cool. And yeah, and this is not this is not something we built in a garage. It's not a home build. This is like this is a real thing. You know, it's a World War II plane. Trained kids how to fly back in the 40s. Went on to become a crop duster out in California. A lot of them, I'd say 95% of them. Did that. I buckle myself up here.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to think that this is, this is the real thing. I mean, this is from that era.
From that era.
They actually trained in this. I mean, this is just, it's almost unreal for me.
All right. Let's go ahead and do our pre-takeoff checklist here real quick.
Okay.
So, you've seen movies when they're in the cockpit of an airliner, and everything is done by a checklist, and that's really important because the last thing you want to do is forget something. You know, if you forget to turn the gas on, and I've seen somebody forget to turn the gas on in one of these on takeoff.
Oh wow!
He got off the ground, and the engine was like, and then just silent, and he got it back on the ground, didn't wreck it. Then I think he had to go change his shorts or something, right? Because that's kind of scary. But if he obviously did not use a checklist. We're going to.
Okay.
We're going to use a mental checklist. We're not going to use a written checklist because if you use a written checklist, it's going to blow away. We don't have no place to put that. So we're going to use the word cigar, C-I-G-A-R, as an acronym.
Okay.
So every letter means something. So C is the first letter, means controls. And so what I want you to do is go ahead and get on the stick there, put feet on the pedals, move that stick left and right, front to back. And when you do that, you want to check your controls because if you move the stick to the left and to the right, those ailerons should be moving accordingly. That's going up, that's going down. And don't be afraid of moving it all. There you go, all the way. There you go, back to the right. That goes up, that one goes down. Yes. Bring the stick all the way back. We'll check visually the elevator. Yep, it's up and then down. Perfect.
Okay.
And then check your rudder pedals. Left and right. Looks like it's working.
Yep.
Feel okay?
Yep.
All right, we'll call that good. I, instruments. You're sitting up there. Chris, I'm back here. It's really important that I know what you're looking at. So we need to make sure that my instruments are identical to yours.
Okay.
Your altimeter, upper left. There's a little knob associated with that because that instrument takes its reading off of barometric pressure. And as we see on the Weather Channel, you got high pressure areas moving through here, you got lower pressure areas moving through here, so that always is changing. Let's go ahead and set that right now at 800 feet. So the long needle is at 800, the short needle is, yep, perfect, almost to the number 1. And so we always measure our altitude above sea level. Down in Florida, when I'm down there, I always set it at 0 because it's a little easier. Here, we're going to have to do a little head math. So when we're at 1,800 feet, minus 800 feet, that's 1,000 feet above the ground. Perfect. Next in line is your airspeed indicator. That needle is straight up at 0. And then we have that little black ball, 2 little white lines, our bubble level. And that's right in the middle.
Right in the middle, yeah.
Yep, perfect. And don't worry about the rest of the instruments. They're engine driven. Again, like I mentioned to you, I'll be taking care of those for you here today. Next time you're on the throttle. But what happens with I let people get on the throttle on the first time, then they start doing the whole staring at the instrument thing. You know, if I say, give me an RPM change, they start looking at the RPM gauge and the airplane starts, doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Right.
All right, so CIG is gasoline. So right above your head, right next to that mirror, there's a glass tube. Now, you see that little bobber in it? If I move it around, there you go, it's moving.
Okay.
That's where the fuel tank is. All right, so there's a piece of wire that goes up into the tank, and on the end of the wire is a wine cork. I kid you not. It may not be a wine, it's a cork, I know that. And so I like to move the airplane around to make sure that moves, because if it didn't move, it'd be stuck.
Right.
And so it can't possibly fail, because, corks float.
Right.
So we have each quarter tank is an hour of flight time, so I'm going to say 2 hours and 45 minutes. So we have plenty of fuel for today's flight.
Okay.
You notice there's little red bands on that? Look inside the cockpit by your left knee. See that little red ball with the letter M on it?
Yep.
That I'm moving? That's your mixture control. The higher you go, the less dense the air is, the less fuel you need. So that's why airplanes like to fly high, because you can get them up high, and then it requires far less fuel up high than it does down low to the ground. We're not going high, all right? We're going to be kind of low, so we're going to leave that all the way rich.
Okay.
Then right ahead of that is a little red arrow that says on-off.
Right.
Fuel valve. That's what that guy I told you about. He had it, I don't know how he did, but he took off with this thing and off. Or it might have been somewhere in the middle and it quit him. So we want to make sure that's on, and it is. A is accessories. Elevator trim tab is underneath the throttle on the left-hand side. You can see that underneath the throttle. You're a simulator guy. You know what a trim tab does. I'm as big as I am. A little bit of nose down trim is what she needs here for our flight. And then the last letter we have is R, and R stands for run up. That's when we're going to add a little bit more power out by the runway. And we'll check the magnetos. That's that black lever on the far left-hand side of the panel there. It's like keys to a car.
Okay.
And we'll talk more about that later. So at this point, the airplane is fine. And I did a visual check on it this morning before you got here. So the next thing we're going to do is listen to our radio frequency, and it has everything about the airport that we need to know before we contact the tower. So let's go ahead and listen to that now.
006. Visual approach.
And it's a recording, so they make it at the top of every hour. It's kind of crazy because these guys talk really fast, but they talk in the same sequence over and over again. Here we go. Here's the top of it.
Kalamazoo Tower information, Mike 1553 Zulu weather. Wind 200 at 6, visibility 10.
So there's the weather, there's the visibility.
2000,
Clouds.
temperature 23, dew point 14, altimeter 3006. Visual approach, runway 17 and runway 23 in use.
What runway they're using?
Taxiway Charlie closed between Charlie 1 and Alpha. Use caution for birds in the vicinity of Kalamazoo Airport. Advise initial contact, give information Mike. And
they called it Mike, so I'm going to call the guys and say, hey, Stearman 1, we're calling you, and I'll tell them where I'm at here at the Air Zoo. I've listened to Mike, and that we're ready to taxi. And I can look for myself, look at that flag right there. I use that a lot. We have this main runway out here. It looks like the wind is favoring that main runway, so we're going to ask to use it out of the south here today.
Okay.
So just have your feet on the floorboards for me now.
Okay.
We'll get away from the hangar so that they can hear us better. All right. Let me go ahead and give those guys a call. Kalamazoo ground, Stearman 1, we're at the Air Zoo with Mike, ready to taxi 17 Foxtrot.
Stearman 1, Kalamazoo ground, runway 17 at Foxtrot, taxi via Bravo Foxtrot.
Bravo Foxtrot 17 at Foxtrot, Stearman 1. So once I cross this little line that's right ahead of us, I now belong to these guys, right? So I have to get permission to do everything. And so what they said was, go out here. I told them where I wanted to go. They said, okay, we'll go out here to, this is taxiway Bravo. We call it Bravo. We don't call it B because B sounds like D or
right.
E or C.
Yep.
And let's be honest, there can be no miscommunication now because there's jets out here with people on them and us.
Yep, exactly.
And so he said, go out here to B, to Bravo, hang a left, go down to F or Foxtrot, hang a right, do not go onto the runway. And so I read that back to him and he didn't say anything back to me. So I said, obviously, I heard him correctly. You'll notice, Chris, looking straight ahead, you can't see much.
Right.
So it's kind of crazy. You got to go a little bit to the right and hang your head out the left. Back to the left and hang your head out the right. Looks pretty simple, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to do this next time, and this is the most difficult part of the flight. Everybody tells me that. And it's dangerous, too, because if you look on the sides of the taxiway, see those big old lights?
Uh-huh.
If we hit one of those, it's $800, and it rips the fabric on the wing.
Ugh.
So, but I can't expect you to do a takeoff in it if you can't taxi it, so we give you some taxi time with it.
Right.
All right, so here's where he wanted us to go. The engine's not quite ready to go yet, so I'm going to face this rascal into the wind. Just like so. How do you feel? Feel pretty good?
I do.
A little nervous?
Not really.
Really? Okay, so let me explore that. Have you ever jumped out of a plane?
I have not.
Would you want to do that?
I have actually considered that, yes.
Oh my goodness. You're one of those guys.
Well, with a chute, of course.
Cool. Okay, two little short words of advice here today.
Okay.
One, for most people, maybe not you, this is kind of a stressful thing, at least at first. And what people have a tendency to do is they grab the stick like with a death grip. They're like, I'm on it hard. And so what'll happen is after like 5 minutes, their fingers start to cramp, you know, and then they go to their left hand. And I've actually had people fly with both hands, and then they're over controlling the airplane. So you just want to have a loose grip on the stick. That's lesson number one. The second thing is if you look outside the airplane the majority of the time, you're going to do really well. I can already tell you're going to do well because you have a lot of simulator time. But if you want to stare at instruments, we should be flying like a Cirrus because there's like 30 instruments, and it's really cool for us guys because, you know, we're easily distracted and we got stuff to look at. We only have 6 instruments in this thing, so if you stare at them, they won't turn out so well.
Right.
I'm just looking at my oil temperature. That's the bottom right instrument. That long needle says temp on the top. We're at 30, and that's what we're looking for. So go ahead and bring that stick all the way back to your lap. There you go. I want to bring the power forward. Check my magnetos. It's fine. It's fine. Carburetor heat. And I'll just kind of display what the smoke system looks like. If you look out the right side of the airplane, it looks like that. Just so you know.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. I just have to push a little button, and it pump injects, it's like baby oil. It's really thin stuff into the exhaust system, and it vaporizes. And that's how you make air show smoke.
Cool.
I know it's wicked cool. So I'm sure your boys, I don't know if they saw that. They're like, what was that? Your wife's probably freaking out.
They're,
like, the thing's on fire.
They're pressed up against the fence over there.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to contact our tower guys in the tower. The airplane is good to go. For takeoff, I just want you to stay with me on the stick, okay? Have your feet on the floor. As soon as we get the airplane off the ground, I'm going to have you put your feet on the pedals, okay? You always want your heels on the floorboards because on the tops of the pedals, that's where the brakes are.
Okay.
And we don't want you to get on the brakes, but in the air, it doesn't matter, but on the ground, it certainly does. But it's a natural place just to have your heels on the floorboards, so. Now we're ready. So let me get up here. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I've been monitoring the radio frequency. No one's flying right now. I mean, this big old airport, nothing, 0. Only us. We'll take it though. And it's good and bad. It's bad for aviation. The more people should be flying right now, but it's good for us because there's no traffic.
Right.
All right, let me call the guys. Kalamazoo Tower, Stearman 1, we're ready to go at 17 to Foxtrot. They're having donuts.
Stearman 1, Kalamazoo Tower, runway 17 at Foxtrot, clear for takeoff, fly straight out.
Clear to go straight out, Stearman 1. So he wants me to fly straight out. This is, by the way, this airport is what they call a training facility, so if you want to be an ATC guy, you go to Oklahoma City for schooling. This is one of the airports where you start.
Wow.
So a lot of the guys up there, they're newbies. So we're going to leave the stick right about neutral, right about here.
Okay.
The idea...
Tower 140, Whiskey, Tower Visual 17.
The idea here is you look
Station 140, Whiskey,
straight ahead.
Tower report left midfield, runway 3, or correction, runway 17.
Focus on infinity, and when you do so, out of the corners of your eyes, you see the sides of the runway.
Left downwind, halfway down.
All we got to do is keep it going straight. That's full power right there, Chris. Airplane speeding up. The tail just came off the ground on its own. It's ready to fly. Just going to bring the nose up a little bit. We're in the air. How easy was that?
Wow.
Yeah, you think you can do that next time? Yeah,
oh, yeah.
That's pretty simple. All right, so go ahead and put your feet on those pedals down there, heels on the floorboards.
Okay.
I want you to climb straight out. Now, if we hit a little bump here and there, just kind of get the wings back to level.
Okay.
And we want to climb straight ahead at 75 to 80 miles.
So runway 17, clear to land if able, keep your base turn inside of 4 miles. Clear to land 17, and we will keep our base within 4 miles. Let's go.
I'm waiting for the guy told me to fly straight out.
Stearman 1, traffic 4.5 miles. Southeast Kalamazoo is a citation 4,000 descending, landing runway 17.
All right, we'll be looking for him. We'll be well below him.
Stearman 1, Roger. Left turn not approved. Traffic should be no effect for you.
7-1. All right, so right down below you is a road. You see that road off your left wing?
Yeah.
Right there? That's east and west. Let's make a left-hand turn. Let's go to the east. So ease the stick to your left. She's going to roll to the left. You get the angle of bank that you want. That's perfect right there. Stick back to neutral. Remember what I said inside. You don't have to use any left rudder on a left-hand turn. If you look at that little black ball on your instrument panel, it's right in the middle. Good. Let's go ahead and roll the wings back to level here. So ease the stick to your right. When the wings are level, stick back to neutral. Good. Cool. Remember, on the climbing turn, we're not looking for anything super steep. Just like a 20-degree angle of bank. All right, let's try a right-hand turn. So we ease the stick to the right, 10 degrees, 20 degrees, good. Stick to neutral. Look at that little black ball. See how that ball's out to the right? Push on that right rudder pedal until that ball comes back in the middle. And then you look right back outside. Cool, just like that. That's how you fly Stearman. A lot of times people forget what that little ball is telling them. So just remember this. Step on the ball. If it's out to the right, right rudder. If it's out to the left, left rudder. But don't be fixated with that. You should be fixated at that horizon out there. Cool. All right, so we're going to do some climbing turns. There's a big old jet. He's way ahead of us in citation and above us around here somewhere. He's never going to be as low as we are right now. So let's do some climbing turns. Let's make another right-hand turn, Chris. Let's go to the south. You can kind of see what, if you can't see a road, you can see this property lines right here. That's north and south. Everything out here is north, south, east, west. Cool. Head to the south, nice. Let's roll out of this. Let's go back to your left. Let's go to the east. There's a road right there. There's a road up there. You can see the tree lines, east-west. Man, you picked a nice day to do this.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Good. We'll roll out of this. We're heading back towards Detroit or Marshall. Let's make another right-hand turn. Let's go to the south. And add that right rudder. Good. Beautiful. And then we'll roll out of this. Let's make one more left-hand turn and we'll go back towards Marshall.
Station 0 Whiskey Hotel, right when able, ground point 910.
Stay right on Bravo 3 over to ground 1. Clear with good go.
Awesome. Then we'll roll the wings back to level. Perfect. Now, if you look at your upper left-hand instrument, you'll notice that needle, we're just about at 1,800 feet. So what I'd like you to do at this point, Chris, is lower that nose to what you think is level flight. And that's about level flight. If you look at your wingtips, I think you just did, when our wings are parallel to the horizon, that's level flight. And then follow the horizon up until it touches a point on the engine so you can kind of look at it straight ahead and know what level flight is. Awesome. All right. So right now you're headed to the east. Okay. Let's start our lesson. All right. Let's do a 30-degree angle of bank turn to your left, 180-degree change of direction. So let's go to the west at 30 degrees. There's 10, 20, 30 degrees right there. Stick back to neutral. Good. And you can look over the side of the airplane to your direction. There's power lines right here off your left wing, north and south. Just keep it going left until we're heading back to the west. Oh, and by the way, if you look at me in the mirror, I let go of the stick after your first turn. I can tell you know what you're doing. Your simulator time has been very helpful. Cool. Let's try one to the same thing to the right. On this one, you're going to add a little right rudder. There you go. Good. So there's the power lines that are north-south. This is 90 degrees. Keep it going right. We'll do a 180. Perfect. And then we'll roll the wings to level. So far, so good?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so here we go. focus in on those wires. Okay, those are 45 degrees.
Okay.
Let's do a 360-degree turn now. To your left, 45-degree angle of bank. So put that left wire parallel to the horizon and a little bit above the horizon. That'll be a level turn in the sky. Awesome. Now, look to your left. Look how steep you are. Pretty cool, right?
Oh, yeah.
To get your private pilot's license, okay? This is one of the maneuvers you're going to have to do for the FAA. They allow you to go up or down 100 feet. So what you're doing right now would pass on your check ride right now.
Awesome.
That's how easy flying is. That's 270 degrees. There's 360 right there, that road. Great job. You lost no altitude. Let's try one to your right.
Okay.
Same deal. 360 right. 45-degree angle of bank turn. That's 90 degrees. That road is what we're looking at. We'll focus on that. That's 180. It's even better. You got a road that tees into another road. Right there. You can't get lost here in southwestern Michigan.
No way.
It's like a big, you know, what do they call it? Graph paper in elementary school. And that, sir, is a 360. That's how you turn a plane. Doesn't matter if it's a P-51, a Corsair, a Stearman, an Aranca Champ, a Piper Cub. They all turn the same way. And I like what you're doing. I'm actually watching you in that mirror. You're looking all over the place. And that means you're comfortable, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Okay, the next maneuver is that lazy 8 that we talked about on the ground. Now, the best way to do this is for me to come on the controls with you and do one together, half of a lazy 8 together with you. So you can feel what I do rather than me try to explain it to you. So just stay with me here. So the first thing we're going to look for is our airspeed. We're going about 85. That's perfect. 10-degree angle of bank. That's all the angle you want. That is too much. That's about 40 degrees. So 10-degree angle of bank, that's really critical. Then we're going to bring the nose up. All right. Now hold the stick right there. Listen to the RPM. You can hear the RPM decrease as it goes uphill. Gravity right now is pulling the nose through the horizon on its own. We didn't touch a thing. We didn't move anything. Now listen to the airplane. 70, 80, 85, 90. Start rolling it to your right. There's 100, 105, 110, 115. Good. And we're going the other direction. What do you think? Kind of intense, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty steep for the first one. We don't have to do them that steep. Let me talk you through it. There's our wash. Okay, airplane's yours.
Okay.
We won't go up as steep this time. All right, let's try it. 10 degrees to your left.
Okay.
Stick back to neutral. Bring the nose up a little bit. Good. Now just hold it right there. It'll do it at this angle here. She's slowing down. Gravity is pulling the nose through the horizon on its own. Downhill it flies. Listen to it. 75, 80, 85. Start rolling it right, right, and up. 105. Pretty cool?
That's pretty cool.
Do you understand what I'm talking about when I say we're trying to learn how to fly the airplane by sound?
Yeah.
Good, okay. Let's try one of those to the right. The only difference here, little right rudder over the top. All right, Chris, let's do it. Shallow turn, stick to neutral, bring the nose up. Good, hold that stick right there. Now right about here, start feeding in some right rudder. There you go. Downhill, the nose comes. Listen to it. 80, 85, 90, 95, start rolling it to your left. There's 105, and that's one to the right. Very nice.
Wow.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're learning how to fly the airplane by sound. And you're in a fully aerobatic plane. And I'll just take my words for this. It's fun to do all this stuff. I'm not a big aerobatic guy. I don't like going upside down. It's kind of scary, to be honest.
Yeah.
But doing these lazy 8s are pretty fun. Okay, let's try this. Let's have you do one of those lazy 8s to your left, followed by one to your right. No stopping this time. Okay? Don't think about doing the whole thing because you'll screw up the first one. 10 degrees, bring the nose up. Up some more. Hold it right there. Don't move that thing. Let it do it for you. Look over your left shoulder. Look how slow that is. Beautiful. We're going downhill. Start rolling it to your right. Good. 10 degrees to your right. Bring the nose up. Very good. Hold it right there. You can hear the airplane decelerating as it goes uphill. Add a little right rudder. Look over your right shoulder. Enjoy the view. Back to the left. Bring that nose on up. You did that all by yourself. Lazy 8.
Awesome.
Okay, quick. I'm going to let you kind of get your breath here. Quick question for you. What do you think so far? Does it fly like you thought it was going to fly? Is it better? Is it worse? Is it easier? Is it harder?
It's really easy.
Yeah. Remember, it's built for an 18-year-old who had never flown an airplane before. And so now you can see how they could fly it in between 8 and 12 hours of instruction.
Right.
Because do you think you could?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Some people say, I don't know, I don't know if I can do it. And I say, have you ever met a pilot without an ego? You got to have a little bit of an ego because, you're flying a plane. You got to say, I'm pretty good at this. Hey, let's go up a little higher.
Okay.
I'll give you some more power. Yeah, if you don't believe in yourself, no one will. So, yeah, you got to say, yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, you definitely got to have that confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. The last maneuver we're going to do is that stall that we talked about earlier, and it's really not a big deal. Let's climb up to 1,800 feet. No one's around us at all. Wow. And because there's some houses right ahead of you, let's make a little bit of a left-hand turn. Head over for those trains, that train over there. There we go. You can see right down below you is nothing. Okay, so cool. So what I want you to do here is just keep the wings level. That's going to be your job. You're going to do that well because there's absolutely no turbulence today. I'm going to gently bring the power back. Get rid of some of this engine sound. All right, Chris. Gently lower the nose. Put it into a shallow dive. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. There you go. Now tell me when you can hear the whistle of the wind and the wires. Hear that whistle?
Yep.
All right, bring it to level flight. Focus in on that whistle. Listen to it. Let it talk to you. Good. Bring the nose up some more. Come on back some more. There you go. Hold it right there. Don't move it at all. Here's your stall. It's going to say, hey, Chris, if you won't lower my nose, I'm going to do it for you.
Oh, wow.
Now watch what happens. Don't move anything. Speeds up. Listen to it. More airflow goes over the wings, creates more lift. The nose just came right back up to level flight on its own.
Yeah, I can hear the whistle come back too.
Perfect. So we took something that everybody's afraid of, the dreaded stall, and we said, wow, that's a stall? That's actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
So we kind of got through that hurdle. Awesome. Let's make a left hand or a right hand, your choice. 180, we'll go back to the north. And we're only down here at about 500 feet. We'll go up, let's go back up a little higher as well.
Okay.
All right, so here's what we got. Left and right, up and down, fast and slow. You now know how to fly this airplane. We have about 10 minutes left to fly before we have to head back. You've been flying now for 16 minutes, believe it or not. I know, it feels like 5, right?
Yeah.
So this is your time to kind of have some fun. So if you want to try some more turns, left and right, that's cool. If you like the lazy 8s, if you just want to fly it around, if you want to do some low flying, we can do that. You have the ability to make this airplane do whatever you want it to do. And you've only learned how to fly 15 minutes ago. What was your favorite maneuver?
I like the lazy 8s.
I kind of thought so.
They're kind of cool.
All right, so let's go up a little higher. As you can see, looking over off your left wing, there's a couple of houses. To your right, there's nothing. This altitude's fine here. We'll level off Back to level flight. Let's do this lazy 8, this time to your right, okay? All right, well, we're ready. Airspeed looks good, 10 degrees, bring the nose on up. Up a little bit more. There you go. Perfect. Now, add a little right rudder. This is steeper than you did before, but now you know what to expect. There you go. Good. Now listen to it. 75, 80, 85, 90, start rolling it left. There's 100, 105, 10 degrees to your left, bring the nose on up. Feel the G-force?
Oh yeah.
Up you go. Listen to it. Oh, and you can smell the dairy farm too. Now, do you see how the nose is not falling through the horizon this time? What you did is you brought the nose up, you were climbing, but then you didn't freeze the stick. So you moved the stick back a little bit more, and so you told the airplane that you did not want the nose to come through. That's why that did not happen. Okay. So when you bring the nose up, you got it, and you freeze the stick, you got to freeze the stick. Cool. Well, we can try another one of those here in a sec. Let's try this. Let's use our smoke system as a tool here. Again, this is what it looks like. There it is, all right?
Okay.
All right, 360 degree turn to your left, 45 degree angle of bank. Don't look at the instruments.
Okay.
Do the turn. If you make a level turn in the sky, you should fly right through your smoke.
Okay.
All right, whenever you're ready, let's try it.
All right.
Smoke on now. There's your marker. That was crazy. We flew through that. I can smell that smoke from that fire down there. Good. That's not the, that's our little test. Well, you can see where our smoke is. All right. So, obviously, that passes, right? That was pretty simple for you. Great job, Chris. Let's try one to your right. Same deal. 360 right, 45 degree angle of bank turn, smoke on, now there's our marker. So whatever your visual picture is right now, that's working for you, because that's a level turn right there. We were here before. Cool. So the deal was 65 hours in your primary training course. So you fly this for 65 hours. From this airplane, you would go into an airplane called a BT-13, Basic Trainer 13. Night flight, instrument training, and formation work and that. From there, the Texan, I think you probably know what the T6 is. You fly the Texan for 100 hours. And then they're going to give you a Corsair because you're in the Navy, or a Hellcat, or a really cool plane, one of my favorites, Grumman Bearcat. Oh yeah. Yeah, those look all muscle, man, all muscle. Let's do a 180 left or right, your choice. Okay. The airport's ahead of us about 2 miles. Everything's going good up there?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. You want to try another lazy 8?
Sure.
Okay, let's go to your left.
Okay.
10 degrees, bring that nose on up. The more of these you do, the better you become in doing them, and the easier they are. I can do these in my sleep. There you go. Downhill we fly. Shallow turn to your right, bring that nose on up. 10 degrees, up you go. Up a little bit more. There you go. Now, this one, just don't move that stick. Add some right rudder here. Dump it over the top. There you go. Look at the difference. See the difference here? On the last one you did, the nose did not fall through the horizon. Good. Back to the left and bring the nose up. Sweet. All right, I got one more thing I want you to do.
Okay.
You did some climbing turns, you did some level turns. Let's try some descending turns. So let's make a descending turn to your left. Right now we're at close to 1,400 feet. Let's go down to 1,200 feet. at about 75 to 80 miles an hour. In the pattern, this is what I'm going to have you do right here. All right, we're looking for shallow 30-degree angle of bank turns. We're not looking for the 45-degree stuff. Good, we'll roll the wings to level. Let's try one to your right. Not a big deal. Can you hear the whistle?
Yeah, I can.
Perfect. We'll roll the wings to level here. Go ahead and go straight for me. I think in a different lifetime I was a crop duster pilot. See this field right here?
Uh-huh.
Let's make a left-hand turn. Let's go a little lower.
Okay.
Let's go way lower. Let's go into that field. I think you've done this on your sim before.
Yeah.
Awesome. Roll the wings to level here. Enjoy the view. Isn't this cool?
Yeah, this
You
is
know,
cool.
again, I always like to go back to this premise. Flying is supposed to be fun. You've come here today to fly a World War II plane and have fun. And you're comfortable in it. And flying is awesome. It's not so much fun when you fly in a jet. Let's go, there's a house right ahead of you. Let's go up a little bit higher.
Okay.
When you get in a jet, that's called traveling. This is flying.
Yeah, you don't need to go fast to have fun.
No, you don't. Let's make a left-hand turn.
Okay.
Now, as you come around, what I want you to do now is I want you to climb back up to 1,500 feet, right?
Okay.
And see this road with this car on it? I want you to follow that road.
Okay.
Remember, she likes to climb at 75. Very nice. It doesn't climb so good, but it's a trainer. You know, if you want an airplane that performs well, they're going to give you a P-51. That performs pretty good. There's 1,200 feet. So lower that nose just a little tiny bit. Give yourself a little bit more air speed, and the airplane will climb better for you. There you go. Now, right over here, Chris, there's a lake over here. Let's take a little bit more of a right-hand turn. Do you see the airport from here? It's kind of hard. It's over there. That factory, that's Pfizer, and the airport's over there. So let's make a right-hand turn and head back towards the airport here.
Okay.
There we go. Perfect. So here's your next pass. I'm going to call, once you get to the lake right ahead of you, I'm going to call the airport. I'm going to tell them who we are. We're Stearman 1. Where we're at, we're over the lake, Long Lake. And then we're ready to come back inbound. And so he's going to give us a choice of runways, and I'll ask him what the wind's doing. But actually, you know what, I really don't have to. If you look over here, you see the lakes?
Yeah.
The lakes are a great indicator of what the wind's doing. You know, so you can kind of see the wind is out of the south, a little bit, maybe 200. So we're going to use the same runway we landed on. We're going to have you fly the pattern to land.
Okay.
Okay. So again, that's why we did those descending turns, because you're going to do a descending turn. That's why I had you do those 30-degree angle of bank turns, because that's the angle of bank we're looking for.
Okay.
So at this point now, we can see the airport off to your right.
Right.
Let's go ahead and I want you to head right to the middle of it. There you go. Perfect. Let me call the tower here. Kalamazoo Tower, Stearman 1, North over Long Lake, inbound 17.
Stearman 1, Kalamazoo Tower, wind 2307 if you rather have 23.
Yeah, we'll take 23 for Stearman 1.
Stearman 1, runway 23, clear to land.
Clear to land 23, Stearman 1. So, they gave us a different runway because the wind is favoring that runway. So, do you see these section lines here that are north-south? See this road?
Yeah.
I want you to make a right-hand turn. We'll go to the north.
Okay.
There you go. Perfect. That's 30 degrees. Perfect. Good student. Okay, so perfect. So here's a good side picture. There's our airport. And it looks crazy, right? Because it looks like there's runways going everywhere. But keep this in mind. He cleared us to land way out here. There's no one around here at all. But we have the long runway that's north-south.
Right.
We got the cross runway that's east-west. Do you see the other runway that's on a diagonal?
Yeah.
All right, that's the one we're going to land on.
Okay.
So let's make a left-hand turn so that we're perpendicular to that runway.
Okay.
So basically, if you fly towards downtown Kalamazoo, it's right over the nose. Perfect. We'll roll the wings to level here. Awesome. And once we get a little closer, we'll start our descent.
Okay.
All that harping about listening to the airplane, it's all going to make sense here in a second. You adjust your rate of descent by using the throttle. You know that from your simulator training. Maybe you've never heard it quite put like that. So if you want to go down quickly, you bring the power back. If you're going slow, you adjust your speed by pitch. So if we're going slow, we lower the nose. If we're going fast, we bring the nose up. So go ahead and lower that nose for me a little bit.
Okay.
Our runway that we're going to land on is off your left. It says 23. Do you see it there?
Yep.
Perfect. When you're ready, what I want you to do is you're going to make another left-hand turn, line up the airplane with the runway.
Okay.
And remember, we're looking for that 30-degree angle of bank turn.
Okay.
Good. I always like to do a turn earlier than later, because if you do a late turn, then you're in a really steep angle of bank.
Right.
Good. There is your runway. We're going to land about past the main runway here. All right. Here's how this works. Do you hear that whistle?
Yes.
What does that whistle mean to you right now? We're going pretty fast, huh?
Right.
Because it's a high-pitched sound. We're not going to look at the airspeed indicator when we land this thing because we can hear what it's doing. I'll tell you what, Chris, I'm going to take it from here. Now listen to this thing. Make sure your feet are on the floor now. Listen to it. So we got it all squared away now. We're not looking at the airspeed indicator. We're listening to the airplane. It's right above the runway. It's getting pretty quiet.
Real quiet.
And we're on the ground. That whistle is how you land it. Knowing what the airplane is doing by sound is how you land it. Because all we care about is keeping it going straight. And if you start looking at airspeed indicators, you're going to wreck it.
Right.
Hope it was worth 30 years wait.
Oh, man.
So we're going to go there.
Stearman 1, you turn left at the end, takes to Park via Hotel, runway 27 to Bravo.
Hotel 27 at Bravo, Stearman 1. Great job.
Thank you.
Here's the cool thing. I don't have to sit here and tell you that you did good. I think you know you did well. It was easy for you, too. That's the cool part.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's a great airplane.
Yeah. Normally, when you see a biplane at an airport, it's usually one of these, just because they built 10,000 of them in World War II, and you know, kind of supply and demand, right? You know, the other one that we have, the new standard, they built 64 of those, so there's like 8 left. There's a couple of thousand left of these. This plane was auctioned off from the Navy. I forgot to tell you this while we were flying. It's a pretty cool story, though. It was auctioned off from the Navy for $310.
Oh,
right?
wow.
two guys bought it, and that was in 1946. Two guys bought the airplane. They flew it out to California from Utah, where it was auctioned off, and it became a crop duster out there from 1950 all the way through 1972. Some guy tried to fly it underneath some power lines, a little too low, or a little too high, and hit the power lines, wiped off, didn't tear the wing off, but it busted up the airplane and crashed it. So rather than fix something like this, because it cost more to fix an airplane than just to go out and buy another one, the farmer, the guy who owned it in the 70s, he attached a chain to the handholds back behind me, and he dragged it behind a barn because he did not want to tell the FAA that he crashed the plane, right? So he calls my father, and he says, hey, I heard you were looking for a Stearman, and I got one here, and I'll trade you. My dad had an engine that he wanted. I'll trade you that engine for the airplane, but you have to come get the Stearman at night, because, you know, you got to take it apart, stick it on a trailer. You don't want people knowing what happened.
Right.
So that was 1972, so we've had it ever since then.
Wow, that was great.
So we'll do, Chris, we're going to put this thing right in the front there. No wind, high overcast, that's the perfect day to fly.
It was a great flight.
So we're going to do a 180 here. We're going to bring the mixture all the way back, add the power, and that's our complete your mission. Super job.
Wow, thank you.